Welcome, friends,
Shit. Hi.
to another erotic episode of A Crept from the 80s. I am the Sievage.
Yes.
Tanski is back.
Yeah, another one, back to back.
This is good. This is great.
Getting the groove of things now.
Yeah?
We got the shots, so we can be around and intertwine with each other. Scissoring. We're
I
scissoring.
cannot wait to intertwine more with you.
Yes.
This summer. It's going to be a lot of intertwining.
Mm-hmm.
Sweaty intertwining.
Moist.
Moist, for sure.
Yes.
So, as promised, in a previous video, I said that I would be doing an episode about Kenner's Star Wars.
Never heard of it.
And here we are.
Yes.
And who better to talk about Kenner's Star Wars than somebody who was also there
Yes.
as it was happening.
And has many.
I mean, you have a.
I have the full.
Don't you have the full
Yeah.
run?
Yes.
I mean,
there was a
that's,
couple of those weird ones. Like I don't have blue snaggletooth.
So, the reason I wanted to do it was because I was, I was thinking about the toy lines that we were blessed with in the 80s.
So many.
And thinking about the lines that really, you can, when you talk to a kid who was born in the 70s and grew up in the 80s, you're pretty much guaranteed to hear the same toy lines
4 or 5
from people.
Same, yeah.
And it's interesting who gravitates to what, where some might be Transformers heads, but they weren't G.I. Joe heads,
Right.
but they had like
That was
5.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
Things like that. And I was just thinking, the first toy line I can remember is Star Wars, and how that makes me feel, and how nostalgic just looking at those toys makes me feel. More so, the box art or the cards, it's
Iconic,
like. And I was like, you know what? I want to do an episode of just me talking about my love of that line and what it meant to me, and I'm sure so many other people, and certainly Tanski. So that's what this episode is about, guys. Kenner Star Wars. And I'm not, I guess maybe we'll touch a little bit on when they came back. But mostly I just want to talk about the
95.
the nitty gritty, first wave of the Kenner line, and how it sort of shaped.
I wonder
us.
if they used that term back, that wave, or if it was just
Wave 1, Wave 2.
Just release
I feel like it was Wave 1,
When
Wave
was
2,
that
Wave 3,
coined?
or Series 1, Series 2,
Yeah. I know I didn't use that term. No.
I certainly didn't.
Yeah.
No, come on now. It was just like, whoa,
More.
new.
Yeah.
I would assume, but I could be wrong, that our stories are sort of similar, but I guess we'll find out, right?
Yeah.
So when do you? Because again, like our last episode, I go back to 4 years old. So when was your first recollection of Kenner's Star Wars toys?
I was probably way too young to have them, because I'm thinking I was most likely 2 or 3. Because I have a photo at home, and if I can find it, I'll send it to you, and we could put it up right at the bottom there. Where I'm just on the couch, and I'm at least 3 years old playing with all my Star Wars figures. I had the black case, and I had the land speeder, and then a bunch of the original 8. I didn't do the pre-order, the early bird, but my dad just bought me all the figures when we saw them, and a lot of them were not easy to get. What's the little red astromech droid? What's his name? RD something.
Lucifer.
Yes. He was impossible to find. So when we did find him at a service merchandise out of nowhere, it was this holy grail. I think he was more excited to find these things for me, and I eventually did that for my kids. Where we're all right, we're going to the toy store to get all their figures. It just was a progression of life. But yeah, around '78, and then obviously when Empire came out, it was you were more conscious of things out, and you were on the hunt, and that's all I got for Christmases, birthdays, any kind of holiday that required a gift. That's all I got, and yeah, I would get one or two Masters of the Universe or GI Joes, but it was all Star Wars all the time, for me at least.
Man. Yeah. You know, I like those days when your family just brought you home something, or they said go pick something out.
Right.
You know, that
I was like that with my kids, and I always said to myself, if they acted shitty, then it was no dice. I didn't use toys to get them away from being a bad kid, but they were always good. So I was like, I'm gonna get this. And then plus, with my love of toys as well, you know, like they'll like this Popeye action figure, you know, which I gave to my son for his first Christmas, and then he kept, and then obviously as years go by and he gets older and doesn't want this stuff anymore, it's not become my thing, which was always the intent, probably.
So yeah, like I said, I was cognizant of everything going around me, and
I think that's probably the age. Theirs where it's like, which I should ask my kids that. What was the first moment when they can remember? But it was definitely 4, because with movies and with toys, that's when I vividly remember.
Yeah.
Things happening.
So what was I? I was it was 81.
Yeah.
81.
4, yeah.
I was 4, and I just, and I've talked about blocks or puppety oddball shit that we all had, Tinker Toys,
Lincoln Logs,
Legos and
Legos,
whatever it was. We had all those things, sure. But I just really remember Star Wars being everywhere.
Yeah.
Just everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody wanted Star Wars, this, that, and the other thing. So it wasn't just toys; it was just merchandise in general. It was,
cereal,
everything that we could
little
want.
Dixie cups
was there. Yeah. And so I was getting, bed sheets and all that stuff. And at that point, obviously Empire Strikes Back is out. So I don't remember. Again, I don't remember specifically at this point, at 4 years old, 1981, I only had, Empire Strikes Back stuff, because I had whatever version, which is the same version but with a different card, of Obi-Wan or whatever it is. But I distinctly remember playing with Star Wars toys on our shag orange yellow carpet, and my great grandmother bringing me the land speeder.
Nice.
And just going nuts with it, just coming up with scenarios and just I don't know. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and by that I haven't. Again, my family can only say to me,
"Oh
yeah, we went to see Empire Strikes Back. You liked it." I'm like, sure, okay, but I, so no clear memory of seeing that at all. just knowing that Star Wars was a big thing, and these were the first toys that I remember as a child, and truly loving and playing with my neighborhood friends.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't do this now if I was that age and had these toys, but I would bring my Star Wars figures outside and put them in the dirt.
Oh yeah. That was
I would smack me if I,
This is mine. This is the original one I had.
Yep, I still have mine.
It's in rough shape.
Oh yeah. Does it still have the front?
It doesn't have the.
Okay, you got that.
Doesn't have the glass. Doesn't have the chair. The knob here is broke.
Oh.
But you can still.
Yeah.
They'll still go. Well, maybe not anymore. They used to. But anyway, it was cool because it gave you the illusion that it was hovering.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always had it, and
I sold off a bunch of my vehicles and play sets, but that one I've kept. Just because I feel like that was the first.
that was my first vehicle.
Yeah. I'm sitting here, everything correct.
So like you, yeah. I mean, birthdays, Christmas. This is what kids wanted, man. Like these Star Wars figures, and it was, for me, pretty much the only toys I wanted or was getting until Masters of the Universe in '82, and then boy did I get Masters of the Universe. But I never stopped getting anything Star Wars. I think when I turned 5, I think. Oh wait, no, it was the Christmas. It was Christmas of '82 that I got that. The Millennium Falcon. That is my Millennium Falcon. Would you mind writing it for me? I can show how terrible it is. This is my original Millennium Falcon, what's left of it. And surprisingly, it's not in
Not too bad.
terrible shape.
I'm assuming River played with it.
But certainly, yeah, I did let him play with it a little bit. But all the accessories and everything's gone on this thing. I mean, look at the stickers. It's all gone. It's basically a shell.
Have you ever thought about refurbishing it?
I
Bringing
have.
it back to its glory.
I have thought about it.
There's
because
got to be ways to.
I feel like I would do a disservice to my childhood nostalgia if I just tried to get a new one.
Right.
Like a better original one. You know what I mean? Where I think I would have more fun
Looking for the old stickers. I'm sure there's
going to
replicas.
get the pieces that I would need to put this thing back to its glory. And I think one day I will. I could see myself as a 55-year-old man sitting down and
You're
saying,
like the dude from Toy Story 2, the old guy that comes in with the little glass, magnifying glass.
yeah,
Nice.
you know, and
I did not get mine until my 30s. It was, for some reason, that was the one vehicle that eluded me. I don't know if it was price. I never pushed hard to get it. But one Christmas, my dad was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "You know what?" Because this was when the re-release stuff came out. I was like, "I'll take a Millennium Falcon," and he obliged, and now I have it.
it's great. And I'm sure it still filled you with so much childhood
Oh my god!
joy.
I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm a 35-year-old man getting a Millennium Falcon. This is the best. I'm sure I got dirty, weird looks from the ex at the time, but I didn't care. Still have the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. And then, so I didn't have many Empire Strikes Back accoutrements. Like I didn't have like a lot of the like I never had Dagobah.
Oh, I had that.
You know,
that's a regretful one. I got rid of that.
I had some. I had like I guess you would say like some of the main
I had Wampa.
figures.
Had
I
Tauntaun.
definitely had Wampa. I had Tauntaun.
I think that's it. I never had At until later on.
I had that thing.
Didn't have that. The snow playset, I guess.
Yeah. I didn't get the At until
Later, yeah.
Yeah, until I was probably 30.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, I bought it for my son.
Gifted to me by Travis.
Nice.
Um,
Trying to think of anything else from Empire. I mean, it was just again just the figures.
yeah, I had what you would consider the main figures of Empire, and then a few from the first line for New Hope. But it wasn't until
Jedi.
in Return of the Jedi where all bets were off.
Of
This
the
was
3 movies, that was the one where I got the most.
absolutely
accoutrements, yeah.
this. Yeah, I was 6 now,
Yeah.
fully aware of my surroundings, fully aware,
Able to
of
write my own Christmas list.
who was
to Santa.
yeah, who was gonna get me what and what was on that list and what I wanted every day of the week. You know, seeing Return of the Jedi in theaters, I was like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
And luckily, thanks to Lucas and Kenner, they obliged.
Yeah, no shortage of merchandise for Return of the Jedi.
Hell yeah, this was
the full Monty, if you will.
yeah, and
merchandising and products and like take what Empire had and then triple it.
if I didn't
Return
have
of the Jedi.
all of them, I certainly had close to everything
Yeah.
pertaining to Return of the Jedi.
From the books to the comics.
Oh yes,
To the Dixie cups.
everything.
To the food.
my
the cereal.
bowls, my glasses,
Yeah.
fucking window.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I mean, everything. It
Yeah.
was Return of the Jedi, and I wanted it all. And for the most part, I got it all. Other than that damn elusive
The
Imperial
yeah.
shuttle.
Yep. Did not get that either.
God damn it. I still want it. But everything you see here,
Speeder bikes, Ewok
I
Ranch,
had,
ATST, Jabba's playset, Rancor, you name it.
all there.
Yeah. The B-wing, B-wing
It's over there. That is my B-wing.
Nice.
That's all I got left of it. No canopy. The wings are still there.
Nice.
And they still move.
I had it for a long time. And the little yeah, it was locked.
But yeah, it's still there. I'm so happy that I hung on to some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm so angry with myself for giving some of this stuff to my son and my son destroying it at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so while I have nostalgia for the Empire Strikes Back line, Jedi is the stuff that like can bring tears to my eyes, because that's the stuff that I mean, you know, once again, you're older, you have more friends, and you have more friends who are into this shit, and
but you have a personality now where you were like, Grandpa, can you take me to see the 4th re-release of Return of the and before you were just a kid, you had no say in anything, and now you could, like we said, you could make your list of
This was happening.
and point out things and get the J.C. Penney book and circle on the stuff.
using those cards to
Yeah.
mark off
Oh yeah,
who
The
you had,
checklist,
what you
yeah.
wanted, the infamous like blackouts of the Ewoks because they didn't let you see them yet.
Yes.
You know, like ooh,
They're
what's
keeping it secret.
what's
Who are these
coming?
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as an adult, when I decided to start recollecting a lot of this stuff, the big thing for me right off the bat was recollecting the Return of the Jedi's line. Trying to get everything that I had back into my life. I didn't care about
carded or
Yeah. You know, I guess for a little while I was fooling myself.
It'd be cool
thinking
to have the
that
carded stuff.
I could do both carded
sure
and loose, and I was like,
that's gonna cost you
that's not happening. And then when I did have some of these carded figures, because I did get a few, I had like 4 of them. The more that I looked at them, and the reason I want them carded was just to maintain that aesthetic and being able to go into that store and
see it on the
remembering
peg,
tons of Star Wars on the pegs. But then I would be like, you know what? I want it out. I want to put it up. I want to move it. I want to create a scene and scenario. So, you know, I just a couple of them I sold, but 2 of them,
nice.
2 of them I was like, rip, and just open, and they're up there, and
no regrets.
I don't. I have no regrets because I have this awesome display, and it's how I would have
displayed it if you
as a kid.
were a kid, yeah.
You know, I like the tangibility of it. I like being able to move it around and just have that thing. It's a instant time machine holding it.
Yeah.
You know, and while you're a lot bigger and you think the toy is a lot smaller, it's not, folks. It is the thing that you had
as a kid.
And so I'm, you know, for years I've been slowly recollecting.
So is the goal to get the entire Jedi line, or just the ones you
everything that I had, and I'm
Okay.
missing a few, but it's not figures that I can't get.
Right.
Like, this isn't a situation where, other than Tiberium, other than the Imperial shuttle, you know, this isn't a situation where I'm gonna go broke getting these extra figures that I need. I will get them eventually, and I'm not even that picky to where I need like the gun or the staff or whatever it is that comes with it.
Sure.
Helmet, yes, I would like the helmet. You know, if there's
Especially if you're getting boosh.
if it's a cape, I want the cape. You know what I mean? Shit like that. But I also don't mind if they're scuffed, because that has a certain charm to it. It's a this is what we had. Oh, look, it's played with.
This is what I would have done to this toy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. How many fucking Lukes did we get where we constantly scuffed up the nose?
Yeah.
It was
especially
classic.
black Jedi suit.
Well, yeah, which is one of my favorite figures of all time. So yeah, man, it's just, I don't know. I can't. Star Wars is really. It is the first thing that shaped Chris
Childhood.
Seaver, you know,
same
like,
yeah.
Instant memories, instant time machine. I love it so much. It really does put a smile on my face and gives me that goosebumpy feeling. And
I mean, it's the cornerstone of your childhood. Going to look for those toys at the Kitty City or Toys R Us or whatever toy store you had in your town.
Yeah, so we had Ames.
Okay. Hills. Did you have
there was Hills.
Okay.
This place called Newberry. And KB.
Okay.
Toys R Us was a like a legend to me.
Interesting.
While my aunt would go on these trips
I already remember telling
away,
Yeah.
and she would come back with bags from Toys R Us.
That's amazing.
I didn't step foot into a Toys R Us until I was like 13 or 14 years old.
Interesting.
And that was in Rochester.
Okay.
And that was like a,
The Stone Ridge one or the
oh
Henry
my
one?
god, beats the fuck out of me. You know, I was, you know.
Probably the Stone Ridge one.
But I was so taken aback,
Yeah.
you know? I was just like, wow, so this is a big toy store, you know?
Those shelves were stocked. There was no.
Oh yeah, but I
there was
mean,
no
I
empty.
but I thought where I was stocked with everything. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Ames or
Isn't that crazy how
Hills.
well these displays were stocked?
yeah,
And now
because it was the age of, you know,
access, I guess.
Yeah, man. Full on.
There wasn't like one to a box.
You are marketing to your children. You know, like they want you to fucking buy this shit.
Yeah.
And we had all of this at our fingertips. You know, minus a few things that didn't quite show up where I was at. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it was all there, and it was all
to the point where I
fully stocked.
I got everything. I mean, there was certain of the final Power of the Force line where I had to get via the internet.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's when it was kind of on its way out.
Around when 85 was happening, and we were doing that Power of the Force with the coins and everything, and I wasn't. My Star Wars days of getting new toys was over.
Yeah. That was more than my Nintendo era.
I was like, bring on Mask. Mask was hitting, and I was like, what? And it was blowing my mind at that point. So I didn't get any of those. You know, I might have, but I probably lost a coin like immediately. Right. You know, or whatever it was.
The coins and then eventually sold them within the last 3 or 4 years.
But yeah,
those were worth a lot. I sold those for a nice.
Were they?
Nice chunk of change. Yeah. I actually sold them, mailed them. The guy never got them. I had to refund, and then like 3 or 4 months later, they came back to me. And I was like, "Oh my god!
Oh,
this is wonderful!"
Oh my
and then I resold them again. And
what a great
tracking on them and put them in a better box.
How fortuitous!
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I was like,
Shit,
I thought
you must have been
gone.
like, devastated.
Yeah,
you know
I was
what
like, that was a lot of money.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know you wanted to talk about specific.
Like our favorites?
You have a list of things that you just can't live without.
I guess that would be all of them per se, but I guess my favorite, before we get into the figures, my favorite playset by far, and I still have this today, I would never get rid of it, is the Jabba the Hutt playset. I still have a school project. It was like all about me, and one of the things you had to put is like what you want for Christmas, and I drew, like at that point I would have been probably seven or eight. I drew the Jabba the Hutt playset. I was like, this is the one thing I want, and I got it, and I still have it, and it's amazing. I was able to procure missing pieces at one of the local toy shows. Like somebody literally had like 50, it was like 50 Jabba the Hutt. It was like an accessory pack. Like if you lost pieces, I had never seen it before. I was like, these are the exact same things I needed. It was the bubble to his hookah.
Yeah.
and then the hookah itself, and then the chain for the neck that pokes out of the faces on the base. I was like, oh my god! So I got a complete Jabba the Hutt playset now.
Yeah,
that thing, you take them off and you open it up.
It was wonderful.
Open and close with all the bones at the bottom.
Yep.
Didn't make sense per se of how to within the movie realm of things, but you had to use your imagination. But
yeah,
Jabba the
it was
Hutt.
dope.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love that playset. I you know, mine was destroyed, of course.
Is that original?
This is not mine.
Okay.
This is a fresh out of the box, still with cardboard and plastic.
Oh.
Casey, maybe 3 years ago for Christmas, got me an in-box Jabba the Hutt.
That's amazing.
With still all the inserts, everything, and everything was still sealed in plastic.
Wow.
And the box is downstairs, but everything is original and right there.
That's amazing.
It was, what was amazing was how much he paid for it, because I was shocked.
It was lower than what it normally. Wow.
Yeah.
So we had someone that had no clue, or they were.
I don't know. I really don't know. It might have been
an estate.
he won it, like bidding, and it just happened to be that low. You know what I mean?
It was like a 4 a.m.
So
auction that ended.
I was like,
'Cause those are the best.
what the fuck? And it was the same Christmas that my wife got me the
Ewok Village.
Ewok Village. So I was like, oh, you know, oh, and the size noodles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was that same Christmas a few years ago, and I was like, holy shit! I'll show
I'm
a
an
picture.
adult. This is my Christmas.
But yeah, it's a beautiful set, and again, it's like it's just a time machine,
Oh,
and
yeah.
this was one of the coolest play sets back in the day for that line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got to tell you, one of my it's silly. I guess it's very much like a Boba Fett type of thing, where he's really not much of anything back in the day, but
Right.
you loved him so much
Right.
because he looked so cool.
Right. You were-
Well, Return of the Jedi for me, the biker scouts.
Ah, yes.
I fucking love the biker scouts.
Yeah, me too.
I just think they look so awesome. On a speeder bike, forget about it. Like, give me it all. I want it all. The imagery, the sound effects,
Their
the
gun, they're weird.
everything was just so cool about
Crazy.
them and the speeder bike. So that was definitely. I probably had 5 speeder bikes
Oh,
growing
really?
up because I just wanted.
Yeah.
Me and my friends would just recreate it, and they had the explosion. You push
They
the
would
thing on
fall
the back
apart,
and it
yeah.
would fall apart, which was fantastic. The speeder bike, the way he looks, the biker scout.
So good.
They,
The figure came with the speeder bike.
I love it. I don't remember this figure coming with the speeder bike. I could be wrong, but I just remember
I know
the
the
speeder bike being the speeder bike.
the reprint. if you will.
Let's see. It's right there. I think it just was the speeder bike.
Say like figure it out in the dude.
Yeah, sold separately.
Okay. Nice. But the redos did come with. Was
Oh
those
yeah,
redos,
yeah,
right?
the '95
Yeah.
series there.
Because I never found.
Oh,
those
this is
stores.
Sears.
Nice.
Sears. But oh, look at that. Look at that proof of purchase. Maybe I can send that in and get
Some points.
the Emperor or Anakin.
Old Anakin.
Yeah, that's fun. Man. Look at this.
Action figures sold something. I like how it's in big letters.
I love it.
That was, yeah.
So those, definitely. Again, I think it's all going to be, my favorite stuff is all from the Return of the Jedi line for the most part. But I love the AT-AT. I love the AT-AT. And again, I didn't get that until I was 30 years old.
I guess vehicle-wise, probably the land speeder, just because again, first ever, and the one I've kept the longest.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll have to take a picture of that.
What else?
I guess figures-wise, I was always partial to the Gamorrean Guard. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I had a bunch of them.
I had like a soft spot for him, especially in the movie. Like I was very, very upset when he got killed by the Rancor. Yeah, just the thickness and the I don't know, and the battle axe. It's just the Gamorrean Guard just always was one that he was always tough to put into the C-3PO gold carrying case. He had to like put sideways a little bit to fit him in there, and then the little bar with the names on them just wouldn't fit right. So I just like fight the power for the Gamorrean guards. Get some
Yeah.
respect.
Yep, I agree. That was a great one. I would say definitely Jedi Luke.
Okay.
Master Jedi Luke.
We talked about this earlier, but that nose,
The nose.
just went instantly. I was like,
I actually
try and fix it.
I lost his cape real quick.
Ooh, do I have that?
The cloth cape.
Isn't it like brown?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have it, but it's It's weird. I have to like iron it.
Always
like
lost
rolls
it.
up.
But because Luke was my man, like Luke has always been my favorite Star Wars character. And I just
did I have the snap?
I don't.
I think Prune Face had that.
Remember? Well, Prune
He had a
Face.
cloak.
He's over there somewhere. I think his is just over the head. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, yeah, the Jedi Luke, man. I just thought he was so cool, and just a badass. You know, he was my man, so I love that toy.
Emperor's Royal Guard is up there for me.
Yeah.
It's just a cool looking figure.
Again, yeah. I mean, they don't do anything.
No, especially in the movie. He
They just
kinda
look
stand
so
there.
cool.
And his cape was attached, so he didn't
Yeah.
lose that, which was good. And then I think he had a white staff.
Let's see. Where's the old red gray?
Gray staff. Okay. There he is. So good.
Yes.
Probably should have got. one.
Imagine what he could do. You had to use your imagination.
Maybe in Mandalorian he can fight a. Right.
That would be awesome. I mean, you kind of got to see
Yeah, with.
what they did in The Last Jedi,
Yeah.
I guess. Maybe they could have been that cool.
Like, what kind of training did the boy?
Episode 3, you see Yoda take him out pretty quick.
Yeah.
It was like, bonk.
Oh.
But yeah, the imagery is amazing. Again,
Yeah.
and that's another, like, I want a biker scout mask
Ooh.
and a red
Royal.
guard.
Okay.
They would be so cool to have a display of the helmets, you know? That's not like a Ruby
Right.
costume thing where it's like fucking chunky and clunky and giant and not
Sounds like
accurate.
at Disney World or something.
well, like I've looked up accurate helmets and they're so expensive.
Oh.
I'm just like,
You make your own.
I'll never have
Craft. Do a nice craft.
these. But
Paper mache.
so Rancor
Yes, Rancor's great.
is big for me. I've told the story of what happened to my Rancor several times.
Left it outside? Is that what?
I was playing with him
Yeah.
outside in a kiddie pool.
Yes. Okay.
I wasn't in the kiddie pool. I was just using it as like this is a river in, Tatooine or something
Right,
or whatever, and things are happening
Right.
in this kiddie pool outside. It was for my sister. She had it. And I guess we had a frost that night. I left the Rancor
No. Oh.
in the kiddie pool, went to go play the next morning. There was ice in the kiddie pool, and the arm of the Rancor was out of the ice. I just thought I could clearly just pull the toy out and it would break the ice, but no, it broke the arm off the Rancor, leaving the rest of it under the ice.
For another day.
And I cried, and I remember my mom being like, "You ain't getting another one." And so that was it.
Yeah.
Once it was broke, it was broke. And my family was like that, other than like video cameras, which is so odd. Because I
those are
kept getting video
expensive.
cameras. But
Rancor was way
toys?
cheaper. The cheaper of the two items.
so, it became if you break it, that's it. You ain't getting another one, And I was devastated. And I didn't get another Rancor until recently, until a couple years ago, 2 years ago. Got it for $40.
Nice.
Yeah.
No box.
Nope, I didn't need the box.
Yeah, I know.
But he still works and everything is still
I
good.
swear there's something in his stomach, the one I have. I think there's something rattling around.
You gotta find it.
I have no.
It could, who knows?
I know.
It could be the Gom Jabbar.
I did lose a Han and Hoth in an event at my house, and then like it was maybe 10, 15 years later, I realized how vents work. And so I like traced where it was, and I was able to get them back.
That's cool.
Yeah. I was devastated when I lost that. I didn't realize I could go downstairs in the basement and find the location of this vent and just get it out.
Yeah.
So I was luckily able to get him back before I moved out many years later.
What you got?
C-3PO with removable limbs.
Oh, yes.
Came with the backpack netting that you could
Yes.
put on Chewbacca.
It was so cool.
And being able to keep that together without losing pieces was very difficult, but
Love that toy.
plus
Loved
he was
it.
able to replace my old, because I had, version 1, Series 1 C-3PO, and that just faded away. The paint's all chipped and it just doesn't look like an old self. But this gold, that kept shiny. I don't know if they used a new kind of paint or.
It was the only C-3PO I had.
Oh, nice.
Was that one?
I was never a double. Like if I had Darth Vader from version 1, I didn't get Darth Vader that came out for.
Yeah,
It's like
me
I already have Darth Vader. I don't need this Darth
Me
Vader.
either. The only time I would double was if I wanted to have like an army,
Sure. if you
So I'd
got
have some
multiple
stormtroopers. I
yeah.
had biker scouts, Gamorrean guards,
Right.
stuff like that. So yeah, and that's kind of what I'm doing now, is just doubling up on some of those,
Nice.
just to
Yeah.
have them around. A big one for me is Bausch Leia.
Yeah, that's on my list. Nice.
Just so cool.
I love chewing on the helmet.
I was big on helmets.
Stick it like do the suction on my face so it would stay on.
I just thought it was such a cool accessory that you could put them
Put it
on and
like,
off.
oh, there's her face. There's an yeah. There was the Stormtrooper Luke.
Oh, yeah.
So I had that too.
So like, but just her look in the movie, just it's so cool.
Yeah.
The whole costume is cool. She was threatening.
Of the reveal when you found out it was her, you were like, oh, what?
It was just so awesome, and so I love that figure. That was definitely a. Well, I can't have that Leia without her helmet.
Well, yeah.
There's no way.
It becomes nothing without it. Yeah.
So I tracked her down with the helmet.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
have that helmet. Ridiculous. I got what were we talking about? My favorite Return of the Jedi character is Neenum. So when I finally got a figure of him, I geeked out. Like it was like, this is the guy. He was Lando's co-pilot, and he spoke gibberish, and so that was a figure that was like just blew my mind. That was one when you saw on the peg, you're like, finally. But yeah, Neenum for me.
Skiff guard Lando.
Oh, that's a good one too.
He looks so
I think his
awesome.
mask, helmet, or
Yeah,
mask,
man.
or yeah.
Looks
I
so
remember.
cool. It was just Star Wars had such cool designs.
Yeah.
Costumes, ships, everything. It was just
And even if they were in the movie for a second, they came out with that figure.
like, I mean, look at that.
Mon Calamari or whatever his name is.
I mean, look at the squid face.
Yeah.
They're just so cool.
Was Admiral Ackbar a mail away figure?
I can't remember. I
know
think I got him
Emperor.
later.
I know I got Emperor.
I did get Emperor, and
I
I
never
did
got
get
Anakin.
I got Anakin.
I got Anakin at the toy show here in town. For some reason I feel like Ackbar was a mail away.
I think he was, but I didn't, because later he wasn't.
Right.
Later you could just go buy him, so
Right.
I didn't do the mail away for Ackbar.
Okay.
In fact, that Ackbar is my Ackbar.
Budget, nice.
You know what I did a couple years ago? Which was stupid, and I don't know why I did it. I remember driving back so we went to RetroCon. The first year we went to RetroCon,
Okay.
we sold.
Yeah.
I fucking sold a Darth Vader case full of figures.
Oh god.
And some of those figures, I wouldn't have had to recollect
Right.
if I wouldn't have sold it. But I sold the whole thing
And it was
at RetroCon.
definitely because you needed the money, or you were just.
It was a
getting
money
rid of
thing.
stuff? Okay.
It was definitely a money thing.
I mean that sucks, but you know.
But I was
involved.
so distraught by it. After I remember the drive home, I was just
Why
like,
did I do that?
why did I do that?
And did you sell it
So
for a good
stupid.
price, or was it?
Yeah,
like,
I
I'm just
guess.
selling?
Yeah, I did. I mean, you know, they weren't in the best shape.
Gotcha.
But I've had, you know, I went back and rebought a lot of those figures.
Right.
You know, and some of those figures were original, and so I said, you know what, fuck it. When they were doing those retro releases,
Yeah.
I just was like, you know, I'm gonna buy them for $9.99 and just get them back this way, because I'm not gonna go pay $25 for
Yeah, they were.
you know,
Yeah.
a loose figure of this. So yeah, I just dumb shit, stupid shit. That you're desperate and you need something here and there, and you gotta pay this, you gotta pay that, and you know, because in the end, really, it's just a piece of plastic, but
Right. The memories.
it's the memories,
Yeah.
it's the nostalgia, it's.
I'm trying to think if I've sold anything that. I think the only thing that I regret selling, because the thing that it paid for is no longer. So
yeah.
I sold my Garbage Pail Kids to buy the family a Wii, Nintendo Wii. So at the time, awesome, amazing.
Of course.
But now Wii is
Of course.
sitting in a box down in the basement, and I don't have my Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
Which probably also would be sitting in a binder in the basement, but whatever.
Yeah. We're odd creatures.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's like the thrill of money, having money. But then we just use that money to buy more things. Like I've been selling off stuff, but then I take those earnings and
Yeah.
purchase.
Yeah. It's you know, when you break it down, it is all about feelings, memories, emotions.
Right.
You know, this room is just filled with plastic.
That's why it has to be. Like I have no worries selling it off and be like, oh, like I just sold off a bunch of my wrestling figures, and it was like a weight off my shoulder, and I don't think I'll be like, oh, I need to recollect those again. I kept the ones that mean something to me, and then I sold off.
Yeah.
Just trying to get the collection to complete it.
What?
I'm not going to do that ever, so I might as well just get rid of some of these and make a good profit.
That size noodles.
Oh,
The Rebo band.
full collection. Oh, with the piano,
I
so good.
I love it. I loved it, and I've told the memory before, but it's great. It's that's a.
They're so superfluous to the story, but there's just something cool about the Rebo band. You know,
the Jabba sequence is just, you know, imagination let loose. I just love it. I love all the creatures, the weirdness of that. I'm talking the original. I'm not talking the re-release. Yeah. I'm talking about what we grew up with. Yeah. That Return of the Jedi. What I saw in a theater. That Return of the Jedi. Yeah. That stuff is just so crazy. Again, I go back
it's
to...
It's like if they had made figures from the Cantina band, which they did. I mean, they
not until later.
Did, yeah.
Which is so surprising if you think about that.
Yeah.
You know? Really surprising. Because, I mean, you get fucking...
Yeah, I didn't get Lax Servac till...
Look at fucking Weequay. Like, what the fuck did he do? He didn't do anything. You know what I mean? At least the Cantina band are playing. They're giving you some dope tones.
That's true.
You know? So weird. What did you ever do?
But you got to figure.
Yeah, you got to figure. But so why didn't we get the, you know,
Cantina
the Jizz Whalers or whatever the fuck they are? But yeah, so yeah.
The different Ewoks.
Yeah, Ewok. Wicket was always my favorite.
Yeah, same here.
I just think he's so cool. Little, and again, I love that you can take their little
cowl
their headpieces off. Yeah, just so cool. And that's why going into Mask was so dope too. Like, you can just.
I'm sensing a theme with you with Mask.
I love it. I love it. It was so neat.
Oh, he's another one that they're wearing a mask.
Yes. I like being behind a mask.
Are you wearing one now?
No. But yeah, anything? Anything else?
I guess Yak Face because he's worth the most. Now, again, it comes down to monetary, but that's when I was able to obtain before the prices skyrocketed. So I hold it near and dear to my heart. And that was the final piece of the like I have every figure now, with some asterisks, like I said, no blue snaggletooth.
Yeah. I'm just I need a few more from the Jedi line, and then I'm done. I'm done. I have peppered in there. There's some
For the right price.
Modern figures.
Oh, okay. Some Mandalorians, I see.
Well, even so, I liked the upgraded points of articulation. I guess the
95s we're talking.
No.
Oh, okay. Did you get into that?
I did,
Okay,
and then about 6 months into it, I was like, I hate these. These are just so bad.
Well, you got in your head like, well, if I don't open these and I just store them away, they'll go up in price.
Yeah.
Just like the originals, and then they didn't.
Gross.
I had children, and I was like,
that's what I did.
These are
I had a
yours.
big
I had a
Tupperware
tub.
tub.
Yeah, me too.
I opened it up and said, "River,
These are yours.
go nuts." And he did, and he loved them, and that's
Same
like
here.
a huge bit of his collection are those lines,
I think I only hung on to a couple.
I just did not like them. But I'm talking about the newer 3 3/4. I guess they would call them the black. Well, the vintage collection.
Okay.
The vintage collection, where they just
Redid
they
molds.
redid them,
Yeah,
but articulation and shit, and,
Yeah.
and a little more detail.
Yeah.
So I have gotten a few of those Return of the Jedi figures with the upgraded articulation and shit like that, just because it's it's a nostalgia thing. It's like, oh, now I could pose them in actual different things,
right.
and but I stopped pretty quickly. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what, this is going to be a slippery slope, and I don't need to have these doubles everywhere. But the figures look so good. Like when they brought back the Gamorrean guards for the vintage collection, they were highly detailed. They had actual fur,
Nice, yeah.
I was just like, man, these guys are so cool. River's got it. But yeah, I just can't go down that road. I feel
I can't think of the last Star Wars figure I bought.
Well, I really love these retro lines. These bringing back the molds of the originals. Cool. So I probably will for a few of these Return of the Jedi. But they just did it with the Mandalorian. So
the old style look.
Yeah, of the old style, which I absolutely love. And
Kylo Ren was probably the last figure I bought.
yeah, so this is a Moff Gideon, but in the Kenner.
That cape looks looks awesome.
It's so neat. I just think I'm like, I love the Mandalorian.
That's because people like us are now working for.
Yeah, if I were a kid,
You are a kid.
Well, I'm saying, and these were out, I would have them.
Yeah. No guy.
Yeah. I love it. I just, yeah, it's just like, well, to me, it's just part of the vintage Kenner universe. So I had to get them. I have Of course, the main two are sold out, so I had to pre-order Mando and Grogu. Look at this little Carl Weathers.
Oh, it's Action Jackson.
That's a stew, baby. Look at that.
And a little gray, getting too old for this shit, goatee.
Final. Yeah, I love it. So I will be getting those. And again, they're $9.99.
Yeah, it's not like they're breaking the bank.
Very cool. And then, folks, I mean, listen, if you really want to do some good in this world, and make somebody smile, I think you can probably gift me the Imperial shuttle.
That you have hidden in your grandmother's basement.
Yeah,
It's
listen.
sitting there
There's a lot of
collecting
folks out
dust.
there. You don't care about some of this shit. Yeah, I think give it to somebody who really cares, who's really going to do right by that toy. Give it a lovely home.
Now, if they brought you the shuttle, but it was like kind of like your Millennium Falcon, where it's missing certain things, is that okay? Or is it?
Yeah, where I'd have to track down. At least I'm not paying $450
for a base for a shell. Okay.
At least I'm not doing that. If I have to pay like $50, $60 just to get a canopy and
a window,
some of the other things, I would do that.
Okay.
That's like
Good to know.
That's a relief, It's
Yeah.
like, whew, that's $500 I don't got to pay for it. And that's literally the only reason I've never done it for myself. I can't justify it.
We looked it up, I think, last year.
Well, I look it up
daily,
probably weekly, just to see if somebody, because I kick myself. I told you before, I fucking kick myself. Again, at RetroCon, there was one right across the table from us. On the other side, there's a table, and they had it for $135. And I don't know why I didn't pick it up. I'm so stupid. It was in pretty good shape. It still had its bits.
Yep.
Loose.
Yeah, you're not gonna find it.
$135. So stupid. Ugh.
So if you find one,
Yeah. Just get a hold of me.
Yeah.
I'll give you my info.
I'll pay for shipping.
Yeah. Sure. I'll give you my everlasting love, which means
That's it.
the world to you.
All
So,
that matters.
just remember that, folks. Christmas, my birthday's coming up. Christmas is coming up. Imperial shuttle.
Get on that.
Find a home. This home.
Give it to somebody that'll love it.
Yeah. In all seriousness, do that.
Yeah.
But you got anything else? That was it. I mean, going down memory lane. What do you think?
Yeah.
Star Wars, man.
It's the epitome of our childhood. It's epitome of our toy collection.
Mm-hmm.
It's I have it in I'll get a picture to you. Nice, perfect display case. None of my other collections have that kind of love that I put. It's got sliding glass and individual slots for each figure, and just I love it. It's on the wall like a work of art.
Yeah. Well, it is a work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kenner went on to be my favorite toy company.
Yeah.
Because it was putting out so
Everything,
many things that I just went gaga for.
Yeah.
Real Ghostbusters, Centurions, Sky Commanders, Mask. No, Sectors was Coleco.
Oh.
But geez, other than Mattel, whew, my goodness.
And they got bought out, right? What did they go
What?
under? Kenner.
Kenner was bought out by Hasbro.
That's right. Okay.
And that's why it's we get these lovely recreations with the Kenner.
Kenner logo.
Ugh. Making you sweat, my friends. Making you sweat.
Ooh, I can feel it. It's got heat.
Now, you know what? You know what else? Y'all got one of those new Hasbro Lab Jabba Palace skiffs.
Oh.
sail barge. I could use one of those too.
Where would you put it?
I would hang it.
Oh.
You know, I don't know. I would love it. That's something Katie has said to me. Like, where the hell would you put that thing?
That's our new coffee
Because we've
table.
seen it several times, and like with our own
really?
eyes, we see how big it is. Our new house is going to have to. We're getting a new house just so that we can fit that sail barge one
What's
day.
the sail barge wing?
It's so expensive, but my God, that thing is beautiful.
How much is it?
Now?
Yeah.
Well, people are charging $1,500 for that thing.
Oh, does
when
it move?
originally it was like $500.
Oh, wow.
I should have put in for it. You know, I'm an idiot because it was only $500 to get it
Only
made.
$500.
Well, I mean, if you see that thing,
Oh, I have.
it's
That's impressive.
gorgeous.
It's like the carrier.
Yes, it's the
USS
carrier
flag.
of the Star
Yeah.
Wars road. You know, I hear they're going to be doing an AT-AT like that. Like
That
a
big?
big,
Dang.
accurate.
Shit.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They should do a Death Star. It's
Oh my goodness.
like no rooms.
Yeah, because the Death Star that they put out, you're like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
this is like
What
3
is
floors.
this? Is this the Death Star or is it like a cake holder, cake tray? I don't know. Anyway,
Yes.
that was
Kenner.
great.
Star Wars.
Kenner, you know,
Tell us your favorite
through all
figures.
of this, I'm sure I put a bunch of pictures and video and stuff up
Yes.
of us always looking over there. I'll show you what we're looking
What are
at.
they looking at?
He'll send me some pictures.
Yeah.
I'll take some pictures. It'll be nice and nostalgic, and you can let us know if Star Wars affected you in the same way, or you know, I happen to know a few people who it didn't quite hit, you know, and
Yeah.
people's things were GI Joe,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Transformers.
and Star Wars really didn't affect them in that way.
I've never even seen a Star Wars movie.
Well, cool. Yeah. But for us, it was we were Star Wars kids,
Yes.
and I'm sure millions of people out there
Star Wars kids.
the same, and it just means a lot to me. Instant smiles, instant good feelings, and I am firmly at a point now, in mid 40s, you would say, where I can say to myself, I am not getting rid of any more of this stuff.
Right.
Like this stuff is
No
not
more
going
selling of our,
Unless
Darth
I-
Vader cases.
unless I deliberately go out to get some stuff to sell.
Right.
This stuff is not going anywhere. I'm keeping it, and I'm happy
This is
with
being bequeathed
it.
to the bloodline.
Well, to my dead body.
He will be buried.
Yeah.
Your coffin will be the Darth Vader.
I've said this. Listen, in a will, I probably would leave all this to River.
Right.
This is all going to go to River, and I would probably explicitly say to him,
You cannot sell it.
"You are not selling one item. Either you keep it and you love it and you cherish it, or you give it to your child if you're going to have a child. And I hope he doesn't. But
You don't want to be Grandpa Steve?
this world is something else, and I don't know if we need more kids in it. But and certainly not of my stock. But I'm happy we have one. I'm happy there's a Seaver behind me. We'll see. As of right now, no.
Yeah.
No multiplication.
No mas.
But that's it.
Yes. Tell us your favorite figures in the comments below.
Yeah.
Your Star Wars collecting memories.
Yeah. And there will be. Listen, I plan on doing there's a Crept from Eternia, and I will be doing a more thorough investigation of my He-Man collection and
Nice.
all that stuff. I'm sure I'll do one on all of
Crash
the other...
test dummy figures.
Yeah, totally. No thanks.
Okay.
But this was Star Wars #1 favorite toy from my childhood, and I'm glad you could join me on this
Happy to be
nostalgia
here.
trip back in time,
Glad we're doing more of these now.
Mr. Tanski. So thank you. And yeah, you do that as well, folks. Look at your items. Look at your past.
And enjoy it.
Drape it over you like a warm blanket, a smile. We all need that nowadays. And
And if you don't have these things, make a list.
yeah,
Make a list that you would like to re-own that brought you a smile as a child. That's what I do.
and don't let anybody tell you you can't.
Your holy grails.
You know?
Because no matter your age, if these things brought you joy, get them. Bring them into your life.
That's right.
And then just put them aside after you've purchased them.
we need all the joy we can get, and
Yes.
you know,
Here, here.
this does it for me. So,
Yeah.
thanks, guys, and we'll see you on another erotic episode of A Crept from the '80s.